You need to learn not to be a fool when it comes to money management, when it comes to finances. And how do you do that? It is when you learn some of these things, you listen carefully, and then begin to implement them in your day-to-day life. So many of us depend on the knowledge we have been taught from school to be able to run our life. Guess what? That manual has been outdated and is never going to help you achieve anything tangible out of life. Budgeting literally is just your ability to be able to forecast, estimate your income, or determine what comes in as the money you earn, and also know your expenses, your possible expenses in the future. Either you are learning how to increase your income or you are learning how to decrease your expenses. Okay, this is like number one basic. So whatever you are doing to earn money, learn how to earn more of it or diversify into any passive income. Okay, or better still, learn how to reduce your costs. A lot of people, they never get past this second stage. For all they make, they eat it, everything. In my journey of wealth creation, guess what I found out? There are three sets of people when it comes to financial management. And the first set of people are actually fools. The second set of people are just average. They are neither fools nor smart. And the last set of people, they are smart, intelligent, and wise. Now listen to me, let me list them to you so that you know where you belong. Number one are those who live above their income. These people, they most cases even borrow money from others to spend on liabilities and depreciating assets. So they are fools because they can never ever make it. Don't be a fool. Now the second set of people are those who live within their income, meaning that they always, as they get, they spend. They don't have much to save and they never have enough money, right? So these are just average people. You never might want to be average. You might want to live above average, right? And the last set of people, these people live below their income. Now these are the smart set of people. These are the millionaires and the billionaires. If you want to become one, then start where you are right now by living below your means. Let's break this topic down, and today we're looking at generally the topic of budgeting. Last time we discussed the importance of savings and how relevant it is in your wealth creation journey. For some of you that have not watched the video, perhaps you might just scroll down and check. It is very important in your wealth creation to know how to save and to also inculcate the habits of saving. And like we said in that video, you must at least save 30% of your wealth and then live on the remaining 70%. And even that 30%, 10% should go for your personal development, like buying courses, buying books to read, and just paying whatsoever that can make you learn. Okay, it is very important. 10% can go for charity and 10% must go for savings, like either you use it for investment and some other things. Now the remaining 70% is what you spend. And I also emphasize the fact that the 30% you are actually taking out from your income is actually the seed. It's even more important than what you are consuming. Now for most people, we always argue that what I'm earning is not enough. And I told you that if you read the book of The Richest Man in Babylon, this book actually made me to understand the fact that there's not enough money anywhere. Nobody have it enough. You just need to inculcate the habit of savings where you are and get started. Now my name is A.A. Kabir. If you are joining me for the first time, we are doing this for 1000 days, and today is day 54 of our live video session. Today is going to be so interesting, just like that topic of savings. By the way, there's no way you can become a millionaire or a billionaire if you don't understand some of these simple things, these simple terminologies and what it means. Do you understand? So many people think, I can't do it, I can't learn it, I don't know what is budgeting and all of that. Sorry, we have light has gone off, right? But we're going to continue. I'm actually ready. So guess what? You always keep thinking that you don't know how to learn these things. These things are hard. No, they are not hard. It's because you are not paying attention or you are not ready. That's why it's hard for you. By the way, let me borrow you the words of Henry Ford. He said, if you think you can or you think you can't, then you are right in both cases. If you believe you can achieve it, or if you believe I cannot achieve it, or I cannot do it, I cannot learn budgeting, I cannot save money, then you are right, you cannot save. If you believe you cannot become a billionaire, you are right. Just like me now, I believe I will become a billionaire, not just in naira, but in dollars. And I believe it, of course. And the truth is, I will become. It's just a matter of time. Now, some of these things we are teaching you, you don't take it for granted. Try as much as possible to learn them and then implement. Okay? Like I told you earlier, today is going to be one of the most interesting topics. Please, you need to learn not to be a fool when it comes to money management, when it comes to finances. And how do you do that? It is when you learn some of these things, you listen carefully, and then begin to implement them in your day-to-day life. Right? Now let's get started. What's budgeting? You see, like I said earlier, don't be worried about terminology. Some of these things, I never studied them in school. I'm a science student. So what has budgeting got to do with me? By the way, that reminds me, so many of us depend on the knowledge we are being taught from school to be able to run our life. Guess what? That manual has been outdated and is never going to help you achieve anything tangible out of life. So if you want something else, you might want to do something else. So I took my time and then I began to see how I can personalize my learning activities. And by the way, these are some of the reasons why you are seeing me live here, because I'm also interested in sharing what I learn over the time. So budgeting literally is just your ability to be able to forecast, to be able to, okay, let me not use big grammar, to be able to estimate your income or determine what comes in as the money you earn, and also know your expenses, your possible expenses in the future. Okay, what you need to spend, especially on monthly basis, what you might likely spend and what might likely come into your account. It's as simple as that. And you don't need an expert to tell you that this is how much I'm earning in a month and this is how much goes out in a month. Even if you are a business owner, you are self-employed, you are whatsoever you are, right? I believe that one way or the other, even if you take wages, money comes in at a time. Even if on contract basis, money comes in one way or the other. So you have to budget. Do you understand? You must have to budget. Please stop looking at these big grammars and begin to think that it's not possible. No, it is possible. And if you really want to get wealthy, let me remind you for the fact that I have noticed that those who are billionaires and millionaires, they have just 3 secrets. One of the basic 3 secrets of what they do. To start with, before I go to 3, it's either you are learning how to increase your income or you are learning how to decrease your expenses. Okay, this like number 1 basic. You must learn how to either increase your income by having multiple streams, right, or by doing more of what you are doing to earn more money. It doesn't matter if you are doing earn income, it doesn't matter if you are a business owner, it doesn't matter if you are an investor, but whatsoever you are doing to earn money, learn how to earn more of it or diversify into earning passive income, okay? Or better still, learn how to reduce your cost of whatsoever it is. Do you understand? So that you can what? You can as well, because if you are reducing your cost, it means you are also earning more money by not actually doing much. It's just a way of managing your money. Now, the 3 things I said is, they learn how to make money, they learn how to manage their money, and they also learn how to what? Multiply their money. Now, if you understand what I mean is, you must learn how to make money first, which is step 1. Because without learning how to make money, there's nothing to manage. So once you learn how to make money, the next step now is to learn how to manage the money you make. For a lot of people, they never get past this second stage. For all they make, they eat it, everything. That's why I told you that the basic formula you must always look out for is, whatsoever you are taking, even if it comes on once in a while basis, please take 30% out of it. That's for investment. That's for your future. You should never ever touch that, no matter what will happen. Do you understand? By the way, some people will think circumstances will happen, a lot of things, I don't have enough. Yes, if you think you don't have enough, like I said earlier, you will always not have enough. I don't know if you understand. If you think you don't have enough, then you will always not have enough. And that's why I recommended the book of The Richest Man in Babylon to you. The man made me to understand that it's not as if people don't actually have enough money. And let me give you instances. When inflation increases and your salary never increases, perhaps you've been working for over 5 years now, 10 years now, and your salary remains the same. But guess what? The cost of things you are buying in the market never remain the same. But you are able to meet up, right? Some people lose their job and they are still able to meet up, right? Without having that income they were having before that they thought were not enough, right? So what happened? They adjust. Now, another set of thinking is, assuming Mr. A is earning 50,000, Mr. B is earning 100,000, and Mr. C is earning 150,000, right? Do you know that all of this set of people will claim that the money is not enough? So that takes us to Parkinson's law. I don't know if you've heard that law, that a man's expenses always rise to meet up with his income. A lot of people are caught up in this trap, but not for the successful. And that's why I said the people that learn how to live below their income are always the successful. So, but it takes time. It's not a day job. It's not a matter of one day thing. It's a habit that you need to be able to inculcate for so many years, possibly. Do you understand? Before you become successful. By the way, some people usually think that 10% alone cannot make you successful, cannot make you a millionaire or a billionaire. I am telling you today that you just don't know the how. And it's very dangerous when people don't understand something and they try to just conclude that it's never possible. If you are just saving as little as 5,000 naira monthly, I can guarantee you that over some times you become successful. And you know, one good thing I learned again is, if you begin to save 1,000 naira monthly, a time will come that you'll be comfortable with saving 2,000 naira monthly. And a time will come that you'll be more comfortable with saving even 5,000 naira monthly. Now, a time will come with the same salary, even if it never increased, the spirit will now begin to increase in you, and you become more comfortable, and you feel like, because the more money you can keep and manage, the more attraction that you have in terms of getting more to yourself. It's just a natural thing. Perhaps you never understand what I mean because you are not in the spirit of that kind of explanation. I don't know how to put it, but until you begin it, you never might be able to experience what I'm saying. So you might always think it's not enough because you've never taken action, you've never tried to actually do it. So if you understand that budgeting actually means that you need to be able to calculate the income you have, the income you are having or you are expecting, the money you are expecting, and your expenses, you'll be able to picture it unwritten, like clearly written, that these are my expenses and these are my income. So, and one of the basics way to get started with, a lot of people that are poor get caught in this trap because they never try to track what they spend and what they earn. They just live life like that, carelessly. Do you understand? And that's one of the reasons why actually you are not doing well in terms of your finances. You don't play with that stuff. It's not taught in school, but this is one of the little things that successful people do and get ahead. Now, one of the basics ways to start with is, you might want to get any source of where you spend your money that you can have access to getting the records. In case you are careless before now, you might want to get your entire statement of bank, statement of account. If you get your statement of account handy, maybe you can determine one of the easiest way to do it. Okay, look at the last 5 years if possible. Then look at the trend of money that comes into your account and how much you're able to spend within these last 5 years. And that could reveal something to you that, look, you have been eating your future. Because what happened within those 5 years, if possible that you are able to save at least 30% of that money that you spend within that 5 years, I can guarantee you that your life would have been different now. Your boss will not be pushing you up and down and you'll be behaving like a fool that you are. I'm sorry I'm using some of these words, but that's the truth. If you ever live above your income, or you just try to live within your income, I think there's a lot you need to do. And you will always keep complaining if you don't learn how to live below your income. Nobody have enough, like I've said earlier. So once you start getting some of this information, it will help you. Another easiest way to do it is, okay, in case you don't want to stress yourself going back to stress, why not sit down today, as soon as we end this video, sit down, start from today. Don't wait until the month end or next month. Write down today's date. Today is what? Let me check the date from I've forgotten. Today is 12 November 2024. Write down the date right as you are listening to me. Then begin to track your expenses from today until 12th of next month, December. Do you understand? Whatsoever you buy, as little as 10 naira, $10, whatsoever your currency is, 10 kwacha, write it down clearly. Even airtime, write it down clearly. Even bottled water you bought to drink, please write it down clearly. Those are your expenses. Then by the end of the 30 days, these are like a 30 days exercise. By the end of the 30 days, now look at all of those expenses that you did. Now ask yourself the reason why you spend all of those money, and answer yourself, listen to yourself. Why did you spend all those money? And which of them would you likely to have saved? Which one can you afford to manage, but you actually spend them? Do you understand? You will there and then find out that you are actually the problem of yourself. You are not paying attention to some of the things. By the way, when it comes to expenses, I also understand that there are fixed costs and there's also variable costs. Fixed cost means that the things you can't live without, you must eat, right? You must eat, so you can't live without that. But there are so many things that you can actually do life without. Perhaps much chunk percentage of your money goes into those kind of things. So, and that's why you find out that you can't save. You keep complaining that your money is not enough, and anything you are starting from the beginning is usually tough. I also understand the fact that, see, if you don't learn the art of budgeting, if you cannot project your income, if you cannot prepare yourself, then there's no way you can be you can't be a goal-getter if you are not a goal-setter in terms of your finances. Do you understand? So now what do you need to do? You need to discipline yourself to be able to know all the amount that you spend, that you are spending this, you are recording it. Now the next step for you is to be able to now look ahead to see, okay, what are the necessary expenses that I will do next month? Do you understand? Now you look at them in terms of either a fixed cost, and then the ones that you can afford to do without, which are variable. Those ones you can ignore a lot of them if really you want to take this wealth journey serious. Do you understand now? So some of these simple things, people ignore it. And if you actually get started with this, then you must stick to it. Do you understand? Let me give you some of the few steps that you might likely want to look at. You must, like I said earlier, have a clear knowledge of the income you have, no matter how small it is, no matter where the source is coming from, and either it's frequent or not frequent. You must get a clear knowledge of what your income. The same thing happens to your expenses as well. You must get a clear knowledge of the kind of money you spend and what you spend them on. Now, before I will continue, please, one of the basic things that I've seen that is very alarming, or is a kind of destructive to the poor, is their ability to be able to not to be able to differentiate between liabilities and assets. And so many times I've spoken about this. Maybe I'll find the time to create an entire video about it. Liability are things that when you use your money to buy them, they keep on depreciating in value. And then each time you want to go and sell them back, the money will be less than what you used to buy it. And in most cases, they take money away from your pocket while maintaining it. A house can be a liability if you just live in it. Then you have to maintain the house, and then you don't rent it out. It's a liability. A house can be an asset when you rent it out. Some people stay there, also pay for maintenance, because most times we pay for what they call maintenance fee or something, monthly, annually. And then people that lives inside maintain the house and they pay you rental income for staying there. Now house is now an asset. A car can be a liability or an asset. Do you understand? If you have a suit, somebody can sew suit and it's a liability on him, because sometimes the liability might not necessarily take money from you, but once you buy it, it doesn't bring money to you. Even your clothing, go to your drawer and see how many clothes you have there. How many of them are you using to make money? You just wear it for fancy and you are a big boy in town. So those are liabilities that are eating your future. Those are the things that are eating your destiny. Do you understand? So, but what do we call assets? Anything that you have or you buy that after buying it, that thing keeps generating money continuously. And guess what? In most cases, it also what? Add value. Like if you buy a land now and you want to sell later, do you know that it's going to triple? Like depend on how long you kept it. There's so many things, even your phone that you use can be a liability or an asset. It takes money away from you every day, but are you using it to make money? That's the question. Me, I don't believe in actually looking at everything as either a liability or an asset. Depends on the person that is using it and what the person is using it to do. It's that simple. So you also need to get clear knowledge of your expenses, your future expenses, and it's very easy when you do it on monthly basis. Like look at this calculation on monthly basis. Use your pen and your book to write it down. Don't think that this is school things and I can't do budgeting. If you believe you can't do it, then you can't do it, right? So you already understand the fact that we have fixed and variables, right? So please, as much as possible, if you want to be successful, you must always try to do away with things that are variable, like things that you can do without. Do you understand? For example, some people use 2 phones. Why do you need it? Why do you need it? And okay, I'm wearing a wristwatch now, for example. If I can do without it, my phone is an alternative. I can check my phone. This is just like a waste of resources now if I don't have enough. Do you understand? There's so many things you are buying. Okay, you might need, like, okay, for example, I was telling a friend who told me that I should buy his products, like he's selling some clothes and all of that. And I told him that I usually budget for buying clothes annually once in a year. And once I've bought it, there's nothing else I can see anywhere that will make me buy clothes. Once I've finished that budget, it has to be next year. Do you understand? It has to be based on what I'm earning and what I'm capable of doing. So you don't buy things because people advertise it to you. You buy them based on your budget. And then if you are budgeting well, you find out that even some percentage of your money will have to go for unforeseen circumstances, like emergency fund. As little as possible, you might need to have some money down that once something happens, you need to take care of it. These things might look abstract to you and something like impossible until you try it. It's very possible, and these are the way you structure your life. You don't just, because for the poor, what I know for them is they don't even know what to do with money until it drops in their account. And guess what? They have this high fever. Like they have this habit. Once that money drop, until everything is spent, they don't usually have sense. That's why I started by saying it's either you are a fool, or you are an average, or you are smart. You just have to belong to any of these 3. You can't run away from it. Do you understand? And you need to really look at yourself and see where you belong. And you might want to adjust or not. By the way, it's your choice. Like I said earlier, if you believe you can make it, you can make it. If you don't believe you can make it, you cannot make it. It's as simple as that. Do you understand? Now you need to also now, as a way forward, after writing down, okay, these are my expenses, these ones are fixed, there's nothing I can do about it, right? And that must be within your 70%. The 30% we talk about, there's nothing you can do about that. Once you have your money, remove it. 30% is going out for some of those things that I mentioned earlier before now. If you've not watched my video on savings, please go back and check. I don't know which of the days, but just go back and scroll, you see it. It's very important. So there's no argument about the 30%. What we are talking about your budgeting here now is the 70%. And in most cases, you can still have something out of it. Like I said, if you keep growing, a time will come that you find out that you can now afford to save more. Why not do more? Do you understand? So now, as a way forward, you must now have to be doing monthly income and expenses in form of written document. You can use Google Sheet. You must not even be using pen. Google Sheet, Google Docs, all these things. Open these apps on your phone. Just go and download them, and then you can track. There's a way. Use YouTube to learn how to track your expenses using some of these apps. It's as simple as that. So whatsoever you spend, you must not come back home before you forget or try to use pen to write. Just type it down there. It's as simple as that. So you must always henceforth track your monthly expenses and your what. Some people will think that what I earn is not enough. If you think it's not enough, then like I said, it's not enough. If you think it's enough, it's gonna be enough. Nobody have it enough. Our president of Nigeria today is never having enough. He still need more. People like Dangote, they still need more. Elon Musk is never enough. I don't know if you get. So, but you have to find a way to make it enough so that you can go, you can climb the ladder. For if you think it's not enough, then what it means is that you are never going to be climbing the ladder of success, the ladder of wealth. That's what some of us are telling you. We are practicing this. I was a lecturer, in fact, I was a teacher the first time I started my journey. I started as a teacher in the classroom, living from one school to the other, upgrading my skills, upgrading my certificate, became a lecturer in the university, then now became a business. Right? I'm in business now. Now I'm going, like multiple business ideas are coming and we are improving every day. And then give me time. I told you I'm going to become a billionaire, just like many other persons I'm seeing. And I'm encouraging you as I go. In most cases, like I told you, make, manage, and multiply. Maybe I'm in the stage of making and managing the little I have. But I'm already forecasting my budget to look at how I can what? How I can multiply. And I'm already doing that. Do you understand? See, like Warren Buffett said, if you don't learn how to make money while you sleep, you probably will work till the end of your life. That's the bitter truth. If you've not heard that, go and think about it. You must learn to make money work for you. People like Robert Kiyosaki, listen to these people. They have the principle. They have known how to work around money. You can't just be spending money and be living your life claiming not to understand how money works. Do you understand? There's no ignorance in the law. So now, what are some of the benefits of actually budgeting yourself to know what you are supposed to spend, and then when you are supposed to spend it, what you are supposed to spend it on, and all taking your time to budget all of these things? See, in a lot of ways, it controls your emotions and impulse buying, like spending money unnecessarily. And this wasteful habit of expenses, like spending wasteful on things that you don't need. Like a lot of poor people, what I learned from them is you might have heard that I learned from poor people. Just the way I learned from rich people, the successful people, that's how I also learned from the poor people. The way they live their life, I observe them. I never want to live like that. By the way, I was poor, completely poor in the past, but I don't think I still have that status. Although Dr. Stephen Akintayo said poverty is a stubborn goat that you have to hold your stick handy and keep chasing it each time, because it will keep coming back. Do you understand? And that's why it's very important for you to manage what you earn. If your business is working well, or you are earning well at your place of work, that's not enough for you to spend. That's not enough reason for you to keep spending. Be wise. Be smart. Don't be a fool. Don't be average. Do you understand? So what are some of the importance? It also control your income. It control your future. Your future is secure. Do you understand? That's the only way, because you are not eating your seed. Do you understand? You must have budget. You don't just spend. So now, I want to tell you that as soon as you do that monthly, now you begin to stick to monthly expenses and monthly income, right? As soon as you stick to that monthly, then you must, if possible, because after calculating your expenses normally as it used to be, and you have also looked at your income, you must now be able to find out whether you are living above your income, or you are living below your income, or you are living within your income. By the way, it's easy to understand. You must not necessarily do the calculation, but it's necessary so that you'll be able to know exactly. And sometimes you must not necessarily borrow before it means that you are living above your income. If you have to wait or struggle or suffer before the next month or before the next pay, it means you're already living above your income. Do you understand? So now you have to adjust. The next thing for you to do is what? Make all the necessary adjustments. With regards to your income and expenses, you must make all the necessary adjustments. The things that you need to give up, you must give them up. There is no such thing as getting wealthy without sacrificing a lot. You must sacrifice a lot. Do you understand? And it's a journey that will interest you, because if you want to stay back, it is more difficult staying back. Do you understand? You're going to suffer more as you stay back. But if you begin the journey, at least there's a lot of things that will become easier. Even though you are never going to be satisfied, you keep pushing, but you're going to be better as time goes on. So why do people's budgets fail? Let me use this as the last part of the presentation. You understand that a lot of people have been planning, we have been budgeting, but it's not working. Why? That's because you have what we call unrealistic expectations. Now, when you are writing some of these things down, don't push yourself too hard, right? We'll just say 30%. If you can't even afford to start with 30%, why don't you do 10? Do 10. From 10, like I told you, the spirit will keep increasing. Then you can shift it to 15. Don't set a kind of too high, unrealistic expectations for yourself that you cannot meet. And once that fails for the first time, second time, you just give up on it. It's natural. Do you understand? So set expectations that you know you can meet with time. Gradually, you're going to increase with time. Now, poor implementation. By the time you said, okay, this is what I'm going to do, these are my income, this is what I'm going to do, it's structured. But when you come, instead of you to now try to follow it like that, no, that's not what you do. Once somebody advertises something to you, you're already buying. By the way, I want to let you understand today that there are people that have already mastered some of these things and they know how to use you. You cannot help yourself, but you are going to be helping them. Each time you receive your money, your pay, your adrenaline is gingering you to go and buy this, buy that, buy this. Somebody tell you, oh please, just buy this. I can give you, even when you don't have money now. And then you are pushed. Then you react emotionally and you take it from them. What you are doing is you are helping them grow. You are helping their businesses. They are earning more money through you. And you, what happened to you? You are in trouble. So people have mastered this art of selling and earning from you, whereas you cannot even pay yourself the 10%, because the 10% you pay yourself, keep it aside. And that should be the first thing that you consider. Once you get your money, you'll get your pay. The first thing you should consider is what is meant for you, because for whatsoever you use to buy things is not actually for you. You are supporting another person's business, even though you use that product. But after using it, what happened? Nothing, right? You are just okay for the moment, and then you are eating up all your future. So don't have a negative attitude. That's another thing. Poor money habits. Don't have a poor money habit. Don't have a wasteful habit. Whatsoever you see along the road, you want to buy. Do you understand? And then some of you waste your money on girls, or you waste your money on guys unnecessarily. You don't need it. If you want to settle down, that's an economic decision, by the way. You can settle down, but think about it too. Are you capable? Don't run into a trap. For a lot of poor people that I know, they are actually in a kind of bondage. By the way, today we are stopping here. Tomorrow, I think, is another interesting topic. And watch out, because we're going to be discussing something that is more interesting than today. If you enjoyed today's presentation, please hit the like button, subscribe. These are one of the ways you can encourage me, right? And then I will keep doing this until 1,000 days or even beyond. My name is A. Kabir, and see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.